With the sun setting over Melbourne, it was time for the night session to begin on day 5 of the Australian Open. The roofs were closed and the seats full as the giants of the sport continued their path to AO glory. After a brief spell away from the sport, Ashleigh Barty was one of 3 Aussies left standing at Australian Open 2017. The 20-year-old came out swinging against qualifier Mona Bartel, but struggled to deal with the German's heavy ground strokes. Bartel took the opener, but Barty hit back in the second. Playing aggressively, the Aussie covered all areas of the court as she forced the match into a decider. Once again, the pair went toe-to-toe during a series of tight games. But it was Bartel who broke when it mattered, serving it out to take the win 6-4, 3-6, 6-3. The last Australian standing in the men's draw, Bernard Tomic, had the Hisense crowd behind him as he took on Britain's Dan Evans. Evans, playing in just his second Australian Open, came out swinging. Just as it looked like they were headed for a tiebreak though, Evans broke and held to take the opener 7-5. Despite Evans breaking early in the second set, Tomic fought back to take it to a tiebreak in front of an increasingly boisterous crowd. Evans dominating to take a 2-sets advantage. The third was also a tight affair, but once again, Evans stepped up in the breaker to secure the set and a 7-5, 7-6, 7-6 win. Venus Williams was the overwhelming favourite going into her match with China's Duan Yingying, and the American put any question of a challenge from Duan to bed almost immediately, sweeping through the first set, conceding just 1 game. With Duan unable to match the 36-year-old for speed and power, Williams dominated the second set, easing into the 4th round 6-1, 6-love. Kei Nishikori's march through the Australian Open continued unabated as he saw off the spirited challenge of Slovak qualifier Lukas Lacko. A solitary break was all Nishikori needed to take the first set 6-4. Lacko looked to have crumbled in the second as Nishikori raced away to a 4-love lead before the Slovak hit back. But just as he threatened to even the ledger, Nishikori settled, taking the second 6-4. The third was a tight affair, but Nishikori took the decisive break in the 6th game, securing his safe passage into the final 16. It was a mouth-watering clash as 17-time Grand Slam champion Roger Federer took to Rod Laver Arena to face 10th seed Thomas Berdych. And from the very first ball, it was clear Federer was on. The 35-year-old's impeccable striking saw him break the check early in the opening set. Federer needing just 26 minutes to close it out 6-2. Federer struck early again in the second, Berdych unable to keep up with the Swiss master as he powered to a 2-sets-to-love lead. In what was a tough night for the 10th seed, he was broken again in his opening service game, Federer flying through the match, securing his place in the round of 16 with a stunning 6-2, 6-4, 6-4 victory.